During the course of this film, you will be expected to make notes. There will be a series of questions at the end. Death is inevitable, but it is not unknowable. If we are, as a species, to overcome our fear of death, it must be conquered. In order to conquer it, death must be understood. This is a representation of the human head 2 days after death. During this initial period, even in the absence of all vital functions, there are no signs, without looking closer, that decomposition is taking place. During this time, while the corpse is still moist, flies will arrive and feed on the exuding bodily fluids. The temperature of the body will drop to ambient and rigor mortis will occur. In other words, the body will settle into true inanimation, becoming materially indistinguishable from its surrounding environment. Later, but still roughly within the first week, flies will have laid their eggs on the body. Hatch larvae feeding on the skin's tissue. In the absence of nutrients, anaerobic bacteria in the digestive system will essentially eat the organs around it, producing gases, methane, nitrogen, hydrogen sulfide, bloating the body. The most noticeable characteristic of the putrefaction stage is the odor. The stench of death is said to be unforgettable. In humans, it evokes disgust in the most pure and primal of forms. On a chemical level, it tells us one thing: death. But still, it is fascinating, isn't it? Moving forward to about 2 weeks post-mortem, we see a great loss in body mass. Extensive maggot feeding strips soft tissue from the bones, while flies and other insects feed on the bodily fluids that have spread into the surrounding area. Beetles tend to arrive when tougher materials are exposed. Predatory insects feed on the decomposers, in turn feeding on the body. A hive of activity. Which makes it quite problematic to pin down the time since death. But with enough time, there is nothing science can't measure. At the 10 to 20 day mark, most of the flesh has been consumed. Tougher materials form most of what is left. Insect activity decreases. The deathly odor begins to dissipate. The body may undergo the process of developing a waxy coating, adipocere. This preserves what is left of the corpse. What is the biological purpose of this preservation? The answer is nothing. It is a byproduct of the saponification of body fat. Humans attached to our flesh may be tempted to apply meaning to preservation in this manner, but there is none. Once all the byproducts have dried up and all flesh has been consumed,
All that remains is the skeleton. Eventually, in numerous months, exposed to the elements, the bones will lighten in colour and wither. And in time, the earth reclaims them. This is where the process ends, empty and unceremonious. Now, time for questions. Consult your notes.